Welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me, as always, is Ben Slinger.
You didn't fuck it up that time either.
No! This is the second time we're doing it. Thanks, Austin.
It's all good. We're live from PAX.
Yes, live from PAX.
Recording
it's weird looking into each other's eyes
I know,
again.
staring sensually for the second time this week. It's just the two of us recording this time, but we are at the podcast on the Promenade, and yeah.
Live from the +5 bar.
Exactly. So we've been having a good PAX weekend so far.
Yes.
Here on Saturday morning, and we're going to do some click pitch.
Yes. So the name of the game is Click Pitch.
I just said that, Trevor.
We both have a random word generator in front of us. On the count of 3, 2, 1, click. We're going to click refresh and then take those words and throw them into a game design together.
Throw them into a game design blender.
Yeah.
Should we click?
3, 2, 1, click.
Translation. Duplicate translation. Okay.
So I'm seeing it as two twins who are translators.
Okay. What are they translating?
One translates from like English to Japanese, and the other one translates from Japanese to English. So
it's like the Google Translator, but they're humans.
Yep.
So have we managed to anthropomorphize Google Translator? We're just too good at anthropomorphizing objects that are not human.
Definitely.
So what's the game like? What's the gameplay? Is it that you have to come up with some sort of phrase that translates back? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that you're trying to communicate over a long distance, but because they're twins, they like have telepathy, right? Because everyone knows twins have telepathy.
Yes.
I know my daughters do.
yeah, it's like you tell one of them one thing and she goes, "Hey!" in the other room.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have to say something in in English to one twin, and then she has to tell that to her twin via telepathy. Well, in whatever their like magical telepathic twin language is, and then I guess it's but then they can only speak. They have to translate that. I don't know. That's weird. How is this a game?
I don't know.
I think we should click again.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, click.
That one might go out the window. That was a warm up. Joke
Havoc. So it's using the Havoc engine.
Okay, so you somehow like physics-based jokes. How does that work?
Well, you've got physical comedy. Like maybe you're doing
physical comedy. So it's like a slapstick game using sort of ragdoll physics.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so that's kind of cool. Is there some sort of goal, or is it just a playground of sort of pies in the face, ladders swinging around?
I think you've got a virtual audience, and you're on stage, and maybe it's in VR, just because I love VR. And you've got two people that can basically just do slapstick comedy and try to get. So
it's like a performative sort of. Is the audience real people?
AI.
It's AI audience.
Yeah.
See, we always come up with these games where you're having to the AI is having to determine some thing that AIs really can't tell very well. But anyway, that's fine.
You can have real audience, but if real audience aren't there, then the rest of it is AI.
Okay. So the challenge is just to be funny with the props that you have?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. That's really hard to measure. Humans can't measure funny. I don't know how well a computer's going to do it. But anyway, I guess we'll leave that up to the devs, as is our sort of regular catchphrase. So, all right, what sort of things can you do? We're talking sort of classic slapstick.
Well, I think you've got lots of shots to the nuts.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pies to the face, of course, as you've already mentioned.
Panes of glass that, like, the third person has to.
Yep.
Not walk through, or
walk
through actually, but
yeah.
Comically.
What else can you have? Oh, you can have the old like shepherd's hook that comes out and
pulls them off stage.
Pulls them off stage if you're not very funny.
See, okay, all right. I like the general idea. I think let's take it out of VR. Maybe it's physically based. I'm thinking sort of Gang Beast style control over characters on the stage. Okay. There are a bunch of props.
Yep.
And it's like a multiplayer thing. and there can be scoring and stuff. Like maybe there's scoring for things that happen in slapstick, like a pie in the face gives you 10 points. Narrowly missing a ladder as someone swings it around to go in the opposite direction, like gives you points.
Yep. Getting hit by that ladder gives the other person points.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But it's all the props you've got. And when you
old like vaudeville sort of
exactly
acts.
Yeah.
Yep,
and so and the hook can be like maybe if there's a lose state or something, the hook like pulls you off the stage. So, and maybe you can try to run away from it.
So there's a time limit on each of these things, and when it gets down to like 1 minute to go, the person at the bottom of the list gets yanked off the stage.
Oh, nice! So it's like last man standing.
When it gets to 30 seconds to go, the second last person, and then it's like the last two people.
I do like the idea that you can like run away from the hook though, and maybe even
duck the hook.
Duck the hook, and that could give you points. And if you manage to get like higher on the leaderboard, even while the hook's coming at you, it starts heading for that other person.
Yep.
That's really cool. Boxing gloves on like springs, and like it could bring in a lot of like Looney Tunes sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Too.
You could have anvils. You could have like an awesome mechanic where you could paint a tunnel.
Yeah.
And you can go down
so
the
this
tunnel.
almost I don't know if this can be on a stage, or maybe there are different levels. Maybe there's like the vaudeville level, and that is sort of on a stage. There's like a Looney Tunes sort of level where you've got like it's the Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner Desert sort of thing, and or whatever, and you get all that great cartoony stuff, so a piano falls on you and like your teeth turn into piano keys and play a little tune and stuff. If you can manage to make that happen, and I don't know how you'd set that up.
You could then have like
a special
some like replays that actually play the cartoony elements for the best comedic elements throughout the level.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking kind of a cell shaded 3D, and then like almost well, I guess kind of like Gang Beast, or maybe like a Power Stone sort of point of view, where it's like 4 players in a sort of area, a 3D area that they can move around in and pick up the props and stuff. That's really cool. I really like that idea.
Yeah, so do I. Someone make it, please. Okay, see you. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah, let's do it. We have large gaps here because the phone takes a while. Okay.
Pig.
Release. So this is an arcadey version of that. So there's that sort of prank that people do on like Year 12 muck-up day or whatever, where they release 4 pigs and number them 1 to 5, but like one of the numbers is missing.
Yep.
So the teachers have to spend the rest of the day trying to find pig number 3.
Yep.
You play the teachers. The greased pigs, and you just have to like run around. I'm almost thinking, I don't know, like for some reason the sort of Overcooked style, like smallish characters in the 3D space comes to me, but maybe like a split screen.
It's got to be almost a bigger space, otherwise you can see. There's literally only 4 pigs there, and there's
No, I think it does have to be in a bigger space, but I guess sort of that camera angle, like that, and that sort of maybe style of characters, like the proportions or something.
Okay, so that style of room, but it's you going from room to room in the school. So you go out of this classroom and you go into a hall, and you're sort of just going through these smaller isometric.
So I'm wondering,
rooms,
like
to then go into the next room to try and find where the pig is.
Maybe either that, or it's just that it's that camera angle, but it's a larger world, and you can separate if you like, and like it'll go to split screen or something. I don't know what. I guess what's the obviously there's some physical challenge to just chasing down the pig, like cornering it, catching it. You can have some sort of, I don't know, maybe you can get nets and things. Like, there could be a whole bunch of ways that you can, like, lassos.
But I think you've also got to sort of, because it's a muck-up day sort of thing, there's other things.
There's students and things that you have to, like,
that
contend with.
You've got to then see, okay, this person is going around dacking all the year 7, so you got to go stop that and do teacher stuff. But still trying to find the
throwing
pigs.
Eggs and
honey on the door handles.
Oh god. Yeah, I don't miss high school.
No, neither do I.
So I don't know. Is it a cooperative thing then? Like,
yeah,
sort of two. You're playing two teachers, maybe.
I think it can be like how in Castle Crashers you had the cooperative, but then you had like the competitive thing.
Like at the end.
Yep. So I think once you get down to the final pig,
which may or may not exist.
Which may or may not exist. But what you think is the final pig, then there's like a competition to see who can get to a certain position in.
Right. Or catch that last pig, maybe. Or maybe it's a special pig. Maybe when you catch the other pigs, the gold pig, the mega pig. Yeah, the gold pig. Yeah, because those students somehow gold plated a pig.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
But unfortunately suffocated, just like in Goldfinger. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah. Improve.
Pass.
What? Oh, your word is pass. I'm glad I can see your face so that I knew that you were sort of making a joke, because I literally would have thought you're like, no, let's not do this one. All right, so pass. Pass is pretty versatile. Like sports, like passing in sports, or
it's a school and it's a hall pass. Even though we don't have them here, but it's like you're improving the hall monitors, or
maybe maybe you play a hall monitor.
Yeah,
since we're sort of going down a high school themed episode, but that's all right.
We still hate high school, but
but
we didn't have hall monitors here. But I like the idea of a hall monitor.
You had the toilet pass, didn't you? Can you get a toilet pass? I don't remember high school. It was too long ago. So I keep going to this sort of top-down mode. Maybe it can be something different. Maybe this is a VR game where you're a hall monitor, and so you're having to like find people smoking. Yeah. You're having to like find people smoking in the toilets and checking people. You know, if you see someone, you have to catch up with them and like, where's your hall pass?
This needs a custom peripheral.
Okay, Trevor's custom peripheral.
So it needs like a nose like thing, so you can smell the smoke, and so you get that extra sense.
And you know if they're smoking tobacco or weed.
Yep.
Because they get harsher penalties, I guess.
If it's weed, then maybe you want to join in.
You can go to the dark side. It's like the moral choices in this whole monitor game.
I like the
left
idea
trigger to pass the doobie.
So it never really quite made sense to me what a hall monitor would do. Like, aren't they supposed to be in class?
I don't get it either. Is it just that they have a free period and they volunteer, or they get like brownie points for?
Yeah.
Maybe this is like an employed, a full-time hall monitor. You're actually like a retired army vet.
So the improvements can come with each level. Like once you catch someone, that doesn't have a hall pass, you can make changes to the current hall pass system. So maybe you can you can make it so that they
have to carrying
around like this massive 2x4, and just walking down.
Okay, so you can you unlock new hall pass sort of things to make it easier to. And that's interesting because that could have.
Got a hall pass
because I like this idea that there's places that the kids can sneak into to smoke or whatever. If you're using the 2x4 hall pass system, they can't get through.
They can't get through the door
without because it's like too wide, and so they can leave it outside. But it means now you've got a hint that there's someone in there because they couldn't get through with their hall pass.
And because they haven't been going to class, they can't quite get the idea of just turn at 90 degrees.
Right? Yeah, because all these kids are skipping. Well, wait, but if they've got a hall pass, they're not actually skipping class.
If they've got a hall pass, yes. But if they don't have a hall pass, then they can... maybe you can set different locks.
Maybe it's that you can change the hall pass type every day, and they keep trying to make fake hall passes, and they use the one from the day before.
The toilet lid was last week.
Toilet lid. Well, maybe you get to the point where you're bringing in all these anti-counterfeit measures like our bloody money has. It's got a see-through strip, and if you hold it up to the light, you have to pull out your infrared or your ultraviolet light.
That could be a cool mechanic, being able to pull out the ultraviolet light.
Don't pull out the ultraviolet light in the boys' bathrooms.
It's like you literally pull it out, and it's like you see
it's like that scene in Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, you actually see the scene from Daddy Daycare.
Just
and
plays a clip of it. They can't see you, Trevor, but
I know.
Yeah.
Looking up.
Go search for what would it be? Daddy daycare poop scene.
Yeah,
Something.
it was.
You get the idea.
It was damn funny.
Well, but I also like the idea that, like, maybe you are this like full time, like you take this job really seriously, and so you start getting ways to like trap and catch these kids. So if you spot them in the distance and they don't have that toilet seat, you've got like a net gun.
But I like the idea of having like a crafting thing in VR that you literally, you know, you got your workshop for creating new hall bars, and it's like you can like create like an amalgamation of what you did yesterday, which was the 2x4, and what you did last week, which is the toilet lid,
and hammer them together.
And you can hammer them together with,
and they have to wear it around their neck,
and it becomes kind of like a home improvements, you know, the improvisation. No, the home improvisation simulator where you can just...
It could be Tim Allen. Maybe the main character's played by Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. My phone keeps locking. Growth.
Disaster.
Okay, I can see a few things here.
Isn't it just Rampage?
Rampage, yeah. Had fun playing that yesterday with my 4-year-old.
That was good.
Yeah. No, well, yeah,
He kept hitting me and actually killed me a couple of times because that was one of the first games that you could actually harm your other friends.
Yeah, like, I was amazed at how... I didn't realize my kid was so good at games until yesterday. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so what... I think this comes down to what's growing. Because we've... Like, lots of things grow, but... plants, people, kids, is it about... Like,
what could be a good disaster? Like what
maybe it's like a disaster movie sort of style thing where
plants are taking over the earth.
Oh, wasn't that The Happening? but cooler, more interesting. They don't just make people kill themselves or whatever that was. It's literally like giant vines. And
I kind of want to go through a New York City that is like overgrown
because plants have. Well, maybe it's like some science experiment gone wrong to make plants grow faster, and they just dropped it in the wrong place.
Or it could be like, I remember that movie Evolution?
Yeah.
Where you had like, pretty much basically it's just Evolution, the movie, the game.
Well, are you thinking well, because that was a sort of a whole biosphere that grew, wasn't it?
But it's still a disaster, and it was growing really, really fast.
Well, let's get in the plants route and see if that takes us anywhere. Yeah. But maybe they are evolving. Like maybe these plants, because they're growing so fast, it's that they evolve to the point that they realize that, like, that they start gaining a bit of not full on sentience, but awareness that humans can provide them with the nutrients they need to continue growing.
That's so evil, but I like it.
So, I mean, it can be kind of like, I guess, like an action-adventure sort of thing, but you have to, like, stay away from soil. Like, so you're actually... Like, because that's the only place... Because that's the only place they can hide, right? Like, really. I mean, like, I guess if we want it that they sort of overgrown the buildings and stuff, that's cool too, but they move faster through the earth, like, because that's their sort of... That's where the nutrients are. So pretty much where they're growing from.
You're having to stay in the concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the idea of you going down a garden path and you got all these stones just...
And as you like step on each one, you sort of behind you see, or around it, you see the vines like starting to grow. That can be early on when they're not growing like so fast that they can just grab you, but
I love the idea of a garden path, but if you're stepping on soil, then it moves faster.
Yeah.
Because they can detect, but if you're like stepping on like the next stone.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
And then it becomes kind of like a 3D version of Steppy Pants.
You're literally having to control each leg. This would be a good game for VR when you've got like trackers on your feet.
Yep, and you've actually got like a full warehouse to do it in, like one of those.
Yeah. There you go, zero latency. There's your next like game for warehouse sized VR.
Yep.
That's cool.
That'd be awesome.
You have to like jump between stones
But it could just be to start off with like a platformer sort of thing.
Yeah, well, you're kind of bringing platforming into VR in a real, like, it would have to be tracking properly, because if you're just using a controller, like,
Yeah,
That's
but
no fun.
I'm also talking about you can just do it as like if it was just a normal game. You can
Right,
still do it
okay,
as kind
okay.
of like a sort of thing where you're having to jump between one.
So
and
if you're
the other.
taking it away from VR, yeah. So a bit more of a kind of
Mainly because you can't do jumping on a large scale.
yeah, that's
on a
true.
small
That's
scale.
true. All right, well, let's take it away from VR. Even though that was a fun idea, and we love VR, and we always move things to VR, but it's probably a good reason
as
to
we
move
all
it
know,
away.
everything is better in VR.
Yeah. So it's sort of platformy, but is it like some sort of shooter or like how do you defeat these plants if they're coming for you?
Flamethrower.
Well, that's end game, sure, or at least mid game. End games
Until they adapt.
They adapt. They start developing like heat resistant. I don't know what coats the plants have as a coating. I don't know.
Chlorophyll.
Heat resisting chlorophyll oils and things that yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Different types of plants and stuff. And you have to sort of start learning what these things have evolved into and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Like it.
Yeah.
Very wrong
I think
click.
let's click again though.
We're going through quite a few
We
today.
blast through them. Counting.
Score.
I mean, that's just a game with points.
And we don't like it when we can come up with anything, so let's click again.
Yeah. News.
Receipt.
News receipt. All right. Well, this actually brings me back to an idea that I kind of had a couple of episodes ago that we moved in a different direction, but maybe it's like a sort of business sim for a newspaper.
Okay.
Where you don't look impressed.
I don't like
You don't
simulators.
like doing the simulators. But come on, there's so much fun stuff you can do when you're like building. Okay, don't worry about it. What's your idea then?
I don't have one.
Okay.
We can go with yours.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right though. Like, is it that you don't like the idea of simulators, or you don't like playing them?
See,
The thing is, I love the idea of them. I actually get bored of them really quickly. But for some reason, I like the idea of like you have to hire reporters based on their skill, and they like go out and do stories, and that brings in the money, and you have to like lay out their offices and your printing press and shit.
And you got to look into their references to see if they actually failed English, because if
Yes.
they did, then you don't want them as like your
Yeah, but
normal
you can
journalist.
bring them on-
you can bring them on as a sports reporter. I mean,
Yeah, burn. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but you bring on columnists and things, and I don't know.
you got to write an editorial, like literally write.
You just got to literally write it. Again, the computer can't judge your job. If you actually want to sit there and write an editorial, sure, but then you're just actually being a newspaper editor. Okay, let's click again.
Thank you. 3, 2, 1, click.
Broadcast.
Gut.
Ooh. Ooh. My mind's going in some odd places. I'm going to try to move it somewhere else. Maybe this is a world where butchery is a spectator sport.
Okay. Yeah. Bro.
It's like people commentating. It's like, oh, that was a clean cut. Like he really got those giblets out cleanly. And it's a VR game where you were butchering an animal, but there's TV cameras and stuff, so you have to like make sure to present it.
So
Like presentation matters.
So I'm imagining, during the tutorial level, it was like, now place the blade in between the skin and the
And the muscle.
muscle.
Why do we know so much about butchery? How have we picked this up? Yeah, totally. And so, because there's so much variety in like different animals that you can butcher and different cuts of meat, and maybe I can see that happening. Like, people watch cooking shows. It's kind of just the pre-game for that. But yeah, it's like well, maybe in this competitive modes.
This is MasterChef, the preparation.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's it. Like, cooking channels run out of things to do. They definitely put on a butchery show.
Yeah, they probably would actually.
So I don't know, like, what sort of stuff can we add to that? Where would some variety come in?
Well, different animals.
Yeah, so you like filleting fish. You've got different. So you need to use the right tools. You've got different tools, different knives.
Yep.
It's sort of a. Yeah, it's kind of a. I don't know. How much control would we be able to give them, do you think? Is it just like, oh, well, this animal always has to be cut this way and it's kind of just how accurate you do it? Or is there some real learning involved of you've actually got different options for how you... I mean, this is where my lack of butchery knowledge maybe comes into play.
This is actually, I think, a big problem with VR. There's not enough feedback.
Okay, yeah.
So... Really,
well, you could get a bit though. You could sort of have it vibrate a bit more if you hit bone.
If you hit bone, so you got to like readjust,
and
that sort of stuff. So that could
and you could have some visual feedback to that too.
I think if you try to get in there and do it as fast as you can, you're sort of hacking into it. You literally see a hacky bit of fillet. A fillet
well,
of
and
fish
I like
that no one actually would want to eat, and so you get marked down.
Well, and it's also it's not necessarily that you have to go slower, it's that you have to go smoothly. It's like you have to have a nice, clean, smooth movement through it. So if you sort of go slower but like start and stop, you're also going to have, not as nice a cut. Yeah,
notches in it.
Yeah.
Not a funny game, but
that's all right.
Like a fun game.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, click.
You're really moving through them today, Trevor.
I really am.
Let's find something we can really dig our teeth into.
But then again, we're seeing each other, and we're like, can sort of tell when things aren't working as well.
Yeah, I think we can take some of these a bit further. All right, running,
mint.
It's a simulator. You're running a coin mint. No,
yeah, that's where my mind went as well. Okay, so I remember hearing a story about the mint that was in Victoria. That there was actually an underground train line that ran in between the mint and a couple of other buildings.
To transfer.
And I'm thinking that you're trying to get away from someone, and you've happened to break into this old mint. So you're running, you've broken into the mint, and then you're tracking down an old conspiracy while you're in there trying to get out.
Okay, so this is more of a narrative kind of thing. And
a narrative.
Mint just happens to be the setting.
The setting. You're at an old coin or note press or whatever.
Okay. All right. So who are you trying to get away from?
Government agents.
Government agents. And what have you done? Why?
You've got amnesia and you don't know. I know. Easiest way. I can't think of what they've done.
I was asking you some hard questions there when you just came up with that off the top of your head, as we do. But all right. So
okay. So
who are you?
I think maybe you're the ex-caretaker of the grounds of the mint.
Okay, so you know it really well.
So you got a map already, and you can sort of see, what's sort of happening in the mint. But you're trying to actually find the evidence that proves that you're innocent of something.
Okay. Can we bring something in? What is there about a mint that will make this game interesting? And not just a generic person has amnesia and needs to prove their innocence.
They don't have amnesia. But
okay.
That was my little thing. That was my stock standard answer for when you ask, why is this person doing something?
Unfortunately, too many actual games just go with that. They don't actually come up with a real idea themselves.
So I'm seeing the idea of shit. Where was I going with it? I had a good idea.
No, it's gone. Move on. I mean, I don't mean click again, but
no.
Well, so the character that you're playing, should we come up with that?
Yes.
All right. So maybe let's make it a woman.
Oh, that's where I was going to go. So you've broken in. You've come into this mint.
Yes.
And you've been charged with counterfeiting.
Okay.
Because
appropriate. Yes.
Yep. And you're looking for evidence that it wasn't you.
Okay.
That it was someone else.
Yeah.
And so the conspiracy is around...
It's like a horror game or something? Like how...
I'm seeing it as it's a stealth game.
Okay.
You've got... so the local mob is in there printing stuff. but you don't know how they're getting in and out of this place. And they're using the old railroad underneath to
right.
Get
so you're avoiding both like organized criminals and the FBI sneaking around this place, and given your knowledge of the place, of the Mint, you can kind of use that to your advantage.
Yeah, kind of like Batman Arkham Asylum style, sneaking through vents.
Okay, so what sort of special skills does a Mint
caretaker have? He's really good with mops.
I think we said we'll make it a woman.
Oh.
Well, I said I'd make it a woman.
Okay.
Let's make it a woman.
She's good not very good with mops.
Oh, wait, you're saying caretaker like janitor? I thought you meant like running the place. As in like...
Caretakers
of like the machines and...
taking care of the grounds and cleaning up stuff. And
well, I think let's make her in charge of like the minting machines. It's like this is why she was charged, because she knows how these machines work and things.
Fair enough.
And so they decide that there is some circumstantial evidence that she was doing this, except she wasn't.
Yeah. Because she's the only one.
Because she's the only one who knows certain things.
These old machines. That
exactly. And so she's sort of trying to clear her name.
Cool.
Yeah. But what's the mechanics? Because she's obviously not combat trained, probably. Is it sort of and I mean that's...
Well, there's no reason why she couldn't know martial arts on the side, because I mean, I know some martial arts.
I mean, to be honest, it'd be more interesting to have... I mean, yeah, she could, for sure.
But having someone being able to like
set, there's sort of
set
more
basic
of a
traps, like
it's more of a what's the word, like thrown together kind of combat and yeah,
kind of like a MacGyver.
I mean, kind of a bit like Ellie in The Last of Us sort of had that sense of that like when she attacks someone, it's just this sort of, and I mean they were fucking weird spore creatures or whatever, but that sense of desperation as she just like stabs them in the neck and jumps on them. So I don't know, I'm kind of thinking that sort of mode.
So I'm seeing it as a massive like Arkham Asylum sort of
it's like this sprawling building
that has wings off to the side and all this sort of stuff, and this massive machinery and then the secret underground train system that can take you off to another sort of final level
different locations and things.
I'm liking the idea of like to get into a certain wing you need to find the keys, and the keys are in your office, because that's where you always come in, go up there, get the keys, and then go around. So your first thing is get up there and get my keys.
Oh, you could figure. Yeah, I mean, the rest kind of writes itself almost. Like you can imagine the sorts of puzzles you need to do and the sorts of tasks you need to be given. Yeah, that's cool. That's an interesting.
So is it a third person?
I'm definitely thinking kind of a Last of Us style movement and sneaking around, stealth sort of stuff. Maybe a bit more. Like stealth can be hard to do if we're really sticking with stealth. It might be interesting. I like the idea of being stealth there,
because I almost want it to be that these people there will easily overpower anyone who sort of comes in.
Well, again,
maybe you can see it that the government agents that come in and follow you, they get caught by these people and they get taken out instantly, because these guys are like really, really good. So that there's no way that you can sort of you can take them on.
It's not just
it's
random
actually
thugs who
it's actually avoiding.
Yeah.
So it becomes more like a alien isolation thing that you constantly being if they see you're being hunted until you can sort of
lose them somehow. But even then, they're like more on alert or something.
Yep.
And that's cool.
I like the idea of them having radios, so you actually hear them say, "We've got her over here," and then that everyone's found out where they are.
Yeah, I like that idea of it being a little bit more realistic than like
second someone sees you, everyone knows where you are.
Well, that, but also the second you're out of their sight, like 3 seconds later, they go back into a perfectly like.
Yeah, I like the idea that now they're permanently cautious because they know that you're around here somewhere.
Well, that could be interesting. I mean, it's a bit. It would make it a bit hard and a bit challenging, but can you imagine that, like, you could get through the whole... Like, if you do it perfectly, you could get through the whole game without them even knowing you're there.
Yeah.
And they never go to that ready state. But the first time they see you, like, really see you, like, you could have them sort of... They hear a noise and, you know, if they don't actually spot you fully, they don't necessarily go to that state. But, like, once you're fully spotted... Yeah, for the rest of the game, it's harder. You know, you've sort of got to the point now that, well, they know someone's in here.
So I can't wait to see the scene where she's running down a hallway, you know, happens to turn around, pull down this bookcase and run into this room that happens to connect into another room because, you know, you can do maybe a slow down mechanic and sort of plan out where you want to actually go to try and get behind this person.
Oh, that'd be cool. So there's almost a strategy element in thinking. That's interesting. I haven't seen that in like a stealth game before.
Yeah, so if you're in a running mode and you need to, you know, get away, you can actually plan out, you know, here's where I want my GPS route to sort of take me as such. And then it'll show you where to run and what your strategy was that you were going to do.
Interesting. And I guess that could be sort of explained by the fact that, well, she knows this place so well.
Yeah.
That, she can just kind of... plan out a route like that. But I think that could work for even the stealth sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that's difficult in stealth games is like, okay, I want to get from there to there without this patrolling guard or whatever seeing me, but having to like watch their sight lines and whatever. It could be more about a planning mode. It doesn't necessarily have to be
patrolling guards. Like, it can be literally someone tinkering with a machine. They hear a noise and they...
They
turn around and then they patrol.
But I just mean like being able to lay out those routes a bit.
Yeah.
So just giving you that extra knowledge for the stealth sort of stuff could be really cool. Yeah.
I like this.
I like that. That's cool.
Would you play it, Austin? In case you haven't been able to tell, we've actually got someone in the room with us, and this is kind of weird. I have been continually seeing in my sight line just a little smile on Austin's face.
Well, that's good, as long as there are smiles. All right, okay. Let's click again.
3, 2, 1, click.
Let's talk this.
Come on. Python.
Peace.
Peace Python.
Peace Python. I had to click through a bunch of words. But I'm going to stick with peace because that's an interesting challenge. Peace Python.
So it's like Snake Pass.
Like what?
Snake Pass.
What's that?
Where you're a snake. And you're actually a python. Haven't you seen Snake Pass?
No.
Okay, I'll pull it up for you later on.
Okay, So, Peace Python. I don't know. Are you a python who's become a pacifist?
I kind of like the idea of it being, you've got this. We've done a UN game before. I was thinking like having someone from the UN who happens to like work out that peace is going to be done by using a python.
I went in a very different direction. Yeah. I just assumed that one person in the UN is a python and are hiding it like Octodad style. And I don't know if you play that person or if you have to figure out who that person is.
You have to figure out who it was. It's the one that looks like a snake.
It's the one who, like, whenever they go anywhere, they get down on their belly and slither across the floor.
It's the one moving in, like, S shapes.
Yeah. No, I don't know how that game would actually play out. It's a funny image.
Okay, so it's a world where everyone is snakes.
Or it's just the snake UN, of the world of snakes. There are still humans in that world.
Yeah. So, you're trying to get peace between pythons and snakes.
Okay. Aren't pythons a type of snake?
Pythons are human.
You seem so sure about yourself. I know. Right. Pythons and humans.
Pythons and humans. Okay. So, you're a snake with who's going on a mission of peace.
Okay, but the humans don't know this, so when they see you, they're going to step on you.
Exactly. So
come up with you with a shovel.
This is all about how do you convince humans to actually...
Can you, like, write out words with your body and stuff? Letters?
That's what I'm thinking.
You, like, put yourself into a love heart shape. Or a peace sign somehow. Find other snakes to make a peace sign. So how does it play out?
I'm now trying to think, can it be another stealth game where you sneak into their UN to try and do a presentation? And
I think it is. I mean, stealth. I mean, it's obviously somewhat comedic. I think it has stealth elements, and it is sort of one of those games where, you're having to avoid the people and sneak your way into the UN. So the start of it is you're outside. It's just like city streets maybe, or parks, or backyards or something. Like, you're literally having to find your way from the hidden snake UN, wherever that is. What are you looking up? Trying to find a picture of a fucking...
Snake Pass.
Oh, I've never played it. No. Okay.
God. You suck. You've played it, haven't you? Yeah. It's
what is
awesome.
It on?
You knew exactly what I was talking about.
What is it on?
PC, PS4, Switch.
Is it recent?
Yeah.
This
year or last year?
I'm obviously not up on game news. Anyway, that's a real game. We don't talk about those on this podcast.
But I'm saying like that.
Yeah, okay.
So you
control a snake. Yeah. I think it's... I suspect that's sort of a third-person snake crawling, slithering game.
So now I'm trying to see, you're in the UN, you're at the bottom of the UN, and you got to climb these massive stairs. So you got to like
and avoid people.
So it's sort of like someone's coming down the stairs, so you quickly lay so you're under the lip of the stairs.
Okay, yeah, because that could give some real interesting kind of stealth mechanics there with the abilities that a snake does have to kind of hide in plain sight behind things. I like the idea of you have a button. You're a very flexible snake. You're very in control of yourself. So you have a button to like hide behind things, and the snake just like contorts itself into the shape of that, like up next to it. So there's like a pot nearby, and so you go behind the pot. And the snake just like forms itself into the shape of a pot, hiding behind it, like just looking around. Like... or just like every object in the world has some way that the snake can, like, hide itself.
Just puts a lampshade on its head and goes vertical.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's once you're inside. Once you're in the UN, you can. Yeah, exactly. You can do shit like that. And then the final end game is you like.
You got to get to like the control room. To basically play this video, to broadcast this video to the UN that basically says snakes are people too. snakes are sentient, and they've got their own UN and
peace offering,
and we've come up with a peace offering.
Yeah, but you have to somehow form it all through shapes.
Interpretive dance.
Interpretive snake dance. I think that's the name of the episode.
3 to 1 click.
Equipment.
Teaching.
I mean, I guess I have to go with this because, like, we should just really go where our mind first takes us. But my mind went to a game where you play a teacher, and you are attacking your students with just all the stuff on your desk. Or, like, maybe when they do bad things, you, like, throw a pencil at them because that's your teaching equipment. It's pretty terrible.
Razors and chalk.
Obviously, the days of... I thought you said razors. Like, no, erasers. Okay. I don't know if we should go far as being able to, like, use your ruler to whack students. That's getting a bit too real.
I was actually thinking you were a physical education teacher and you've got your equipment for what game you're going to play.
That's a better idea. Let's do that. But you can still throw shit at the students.
Oh, yeah. Dodgeball.
I mean, that's not... Yeah.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
So I like this idea that maybe you get to, like, set up the course that your students have to go on.
Yeah.
So you're putting in, like the ropes they have to climb and the bloody pommel horse and the balance beam and I don't know, what other shit do you do in PE?
You can set up that really, really annoying box, that had the ruler that you had to see how far the kids could actually reach their toes.
A flexibility thing?
Yep. You can set up like a 1.6 kilometer run.
These are all
sports.
very specific to our high school experience.
I know.
No, but so what? Maybe this is a game where you're challenging other people to play through it, kind of like a Mario Maker sort of thing, but you're
setting up an obstacle course.
You're setting up an obstacle course in PE, and everyone gets to put on their dorky PE shorts.
But the awesome thing is, as you go to play it, you get randomized as you get to choose the year level that you've made.
Well, and also
that changes the height.
Also, just your physical abilities in general, like your height, your weight, your strength, your flexibility,
your sex.
Yeah, gender. Exactly. Yeah, all aspects, and then you have to run this course. That's kind of cool.
As fast as you sort of can, and you get judged.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You get judged on your time. You get judged on how many dodgeballs hit you, because there's obviously a section where all the other kids just throw dodgeball at you. Yeah, there's a dodgeball gauntlet for sure.
And there's previous people who have done it who have just stuck around, and they're now like,
like you guys hit me seven times, so I'm gonna make sure I get you. Yeah, totally. I don't know. That's fun. That could be cool. And then as the PE teacher, you get to like be an asshole if you like, because they all are, aren't they?
I don't know. Ours weren't too bad.
Yeah, I guess so.
3, 2, 1, click.
Phone keeps locking. What do you have?
Keep.
Innocent. We did have this word last week, I think. Didn't we?
I think so. Okay, so I see it as a RPG keep.
That's the name of it? Oh,
no, as in,
like a keep.
A keep
is
like
a castle.
A castle sort of thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. What's the innocent?
What's the innocent part about it?
Yeah. Is it like someone you're trying to save? Oh, maybe it's a thing where there's a dragon that everyone wants to kill.
But it's innocent of the...
Yeah, but it's actually like really friendly.
Sure, it kills people, but it gave me a present for my birthday.
It was a big pile of horse bones, but it made it into a really nice shape.
It was a love heart.
No, I don't know. Like maybe it's that it's not actually this dragon doing it. Like this dragon's a vegetarian, but it's getting blamed for all these things that happen.
Yep.
I know. Do you play the dragon? Do you think?
No, actually,
or a friend of the dragon. It's like a Pete's Dragon situation.
I like the idea of it being the backstory is that you were a knight sent to kill the dragon,
but you befriended instead.
But you realise that he was cowering, and he was scared of you more than you were of it, and it's like, oh, okay, you've been taught the wrong thing about these dragons.
Yeah, okay, and then you spend the rest of the time like protecting it. It becomes your buddy, and all because obviously the castle sends out more knights and things to take it down. But
it's sort of a narrative story of your friendship with the dragon and
convincing people that it's good. Yeah, that's cool. So,
and then you've got the side story of what's actually causing all these sheep deaths or whatever.
Yeah. Well, either it could just be someone's framing the dragon for that because they want it killed.
Turns out
for
it's just
reason.
An arsonist who's just been like setting fire to all the
just
sheep.
An asshole. It's just an asshole. He just doesn't like sheep. He's just a real prick. What's the dragon's name?
Henry.
Okay. Just thought I'd throw that at you.
Henrietta.
Henrietta. And what's the knight's name?
Sir
Joanne-a-lot.
I don't know. Guinevere.
It's Guinevere. So I'm.
I don't know why, but I just saw it as like, sort of like a Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, that works.
That's what I originally saw it as.
Totally.
You know, that's pretty much.
Well, we do try to bring more female protagonists into our games as well, because
but
there are too many.
That was the only way that I was sort of seeing.
Yeah, that's
it was
cool.
Actually working.
Well, and so what's the? Does the dragon follow you around everywhere from that point, or is it more just that at certain points you can sort of call on your dragon as a special skill or
as
something?
part of your CSI RPG, walking around trying to find out who the actual culprit is,
right? Yeah,
all that sort of stuff. You've got some sort of Witcher 3 style fights and stuff that's going on, and
there's got to be combat for sure. Yeah. And is the dragon a pacifist though? Like it literally won't. You have to do all the killing.
It comes and sort of protects you, but it won't actually harm anyone else.
Yeah, or it'll like set things on fire to like distract or stun people or something, but it won't actually kill anyone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
And as you said, it only eats vegetarian stuff. So if it comes across a vegetable garden, you watch out. It's going to take the whole thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and then it will turn the people against it. my cabbages. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Just a narrative story.
Yeah, it's a cool world. I like that idea. Sort of twisting the dragon thing around a bit.
How many are we going to go through today?
I know, a lot.
3, 2, 1, click. I think we'll be cutting so much of this out.
None.
Outside.
None outside. They're all inside.
N-U-N?
Whatever they are. No. N-O-N-E.
Okay. So have you seen the movie?
No, I'm just amused.
Have you seen the movie Nothing?
No.
Remember the movie Cube?
No, I haven't seen that one. No, yes, I've seen that, yes.
So that director made this movie called Nothing.
Okay.
And it was about these two guys who basically had this small little house that was going to be torn down.
Okay.
And so they wished for everything to just go away.
Oh, I have seen that, I think. I have seen that.
So I like the idea of...
You suddenly find yourself in a house or
and there's
a place.
Nothing outside.
And outside it's just... Because it was just like bright white.
It was just bright white.
Emptiness, yeah.
Yep.
Like.
So I like the idea that that's what you wake up to.
Okay.
You go out there and...
Is it like a point-and-click adventure or something? Like, what's the...
Is it point-and-click or would it be better to be a first person? So as you go through you go through the days...
Kind of like a bit of a... I don't like the term, but like a walking sim sort of thing of first-person heavy narrative.
What's come into my mind is there are actually things out in the nothing.
Oh, so it's almost a bit like The Mist.
Yeah. But they are pure white. So if you go out into it...
Okay.
Like, you can be mauled by things that you literally can't see. Kind of like a Kieru.
Yeah. Sort of, so the only way you can see them is by like creating a background, a backdrop where you can see,
or throwing paint on them or something like that. You can come up with different things to actually do. So the first day you're sort of just going through and learning about how things are actually working. But when you fall asleep,
are you the only person there, or are there other people?
I think it's like a. I hate saying sorority, but it's sort of like
a share house.
A share house.
Okay. So it's sort of a large house, multiple bedrooms.
Yep.
You've got roommates, basically.
Yep. And you've got one person who's literally the token person to die that has to tell you that there's something out there.
Right. Okay. So almost a bit of Until Dawn kind of action in there too. Just in I wonder if there's branching.
There could be branching storylines
and
things like that.
But all first person to keep it kind of...
I like this idea of there being literally nothing out there. But at night when you're trying to go to sleep, you hear like sounds.
Well, that could be the first... That'd be interesting if that was actually the first indication that there was something out there. Like, you haven't seen anyone die yet. It's just you find yourself... There's nothing... So at that point, you're thinking, like, there literally is nothing, and then you start hearing things. It's like, holy shit, yeah, that's cool. And then the next day, someone gets mauled.
Mauled, and, like, I'm now imagining that you've got that whole trope of someone getting a rope tied around them, and they get let out.
Yeah. Well, wait, so... so is there ground? Like, is there something for them to walk on?
Yeah, so when they step out there, they find they find that there is actually something.
See, I was
there.
thinking it would be amusing if
they just fell.
Yeah, exactly. They're not only, but not only no, but like
but the things out there are winged
that it
creatures.
looped. So like when they go too far down, they come out the ceiling again. Like they've been put into some sort of physical looped dimension where the only thing in there is this house and these creatures. They find out eventually, but yeah, like so they lower them on a rope. And then they look like it's a really like they look up and they see them coming down.
Oh, that'd just be.
But
creepy.
then the creatures, wherever in the world the creatures end up mauling that person, the blood is just like forever falling. All their guts
like,
for the rest of the game.
So don't go over there. That's the rain field.
Yeah, the rest of the game there's just guts like constantly falling in that one spot, tumbling through the air. Or maybe it's just their body. And you're there for so long, it just like starts decomposing, and there's a skeleton.
It's continually falling, like in Portal 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like,
well, but it's not so fast.
There.
Like it reaches its terminal velocity, but it's a fairly large dimension that you're in, so you just see it pass like every 20 seconds or something. No, like, not even that fast. Just like it could even be a puzzle later that you have to do to like lure the creatures inside by getting,
and knock them out
catching
by falling bodies.
Yeah. I feel like there's some fun stuff you could do with a looping dimension like that. No, but I do like that idea of that
now
sort
I'm wondering, is the house continually falling, but you just don't know that it's continually falling?
Would that change anything?
It's like
it's all relative at that point.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. It's like you're actually falling the entire time. Yeah. You can't move anywhere.
Well, the only way I could see that having an effect is that when you eventually figure out how to leave this dimension, the house just like falls and crunch on the ground and just disintegrates. Game
kills everyone.
That's the end of the game. I feel like that's actually a suitable ending for that sort of cube-esque, sort of in a bottle kind of game.
It's a very hard movie to find because searching for nothing on the internet is actually incredibly hard.
Yeah,
I tried finding it recently. We'll do one more and then we'll finish up.
Yeah, I think that's
3, 2, 1, click.
I think that works. Disadvantage.
Eraser. So you're in a school with lots of disadvantaged students, and you're throwing erasers at them.
Come on, Trevor. That's not nice.
It's just your idea from before.
No, those were all those kids did not have disabilities.
I said disadvantaged.
Oh, that's true.
Slightly poor.
Maybe it's some sort of thing where you can erase
a disadvantage.
Well, you can create, like, you can give someone else a disadvantage by erasing something in the world. Like, it's like some sort of
kind of like a weird RPG where you've got a magical eraser that can kind of like we were talking about in an episode or two ago, the inflammable shirt, and you can just get rid of the in, so it becomes a flammable shirt.
Oh, so it only works on words, this eraser, to like change their properties in some way.
I reckon that could be kind of cool.
That's interesting because you could do things like...
At first, all you can do is erase, so you can...
But could you do things like... I'm trying to think of a good example. If you had some bread and you erased the R and the A, it turned into a bed.
I thought you were going to say and you erased the E to turn into a guy called Brad.
Yeah, that works too. Exactly. It's kind of like a version of Scribblenauts, except instead of just typing in things, you have to like
erase.
You have to turn things into other things by erasing their letters or letters of their properties that describe them. So you basically have this way to like hack reality and just erase certain letters.
I really like that
That's
idea.
That's really funny. Can we come up with any other good ones? I don't know if we're quick enough.
No. I mean, the fact that we've
don't erase the R out of your shirt.
I was actually thinking about that idea about what you can actually erase.
Yeah.
Like, at first, your eraser's not that powerful, so it can only erase, like, certain coloured letters. So you may see an inflammable shirt that someone's wearing, and it's, like, got red letters for the in.
You know that inflammable and flammable mean the same thing, though,
okay.
Right? Whatever. That's one of those quirks of English. Yes, I know what you know.
Whatever the, unflammable.
Yeah, I guess it's probably...
You can get rid of some of the U and leave it as inflammable.
Yeah, but you can change the properties of things by doing things like inverting.
So it starts off with an eraser, and then later on you can actually add words,
letters as well.
Yeah,
you probably not like a pencil to just add whatever letter you want. Maybe you get like Scrabble tiles. So you've only got certain letters that you can throw in there.
The mystical Scrabble tiles.
Yeah. Hey, there's a mystical eraser. Like these are like these artifacts of this world. For some reason, are all just everyday objects.
It turns out that like all these objects are actually from like the real world.
Oh, so you're in like the written. You're like in the world of words or something.
Yeah. And in this world, like everything has got like a label on top of it or something like that.
Right.
You
okay.
continually see. So you're walking around, you see bed, and then you see cabinet, and it's just like a floating letters on top of it. And
I like the idea that. So how does that work on people? Is it just their name, or does it say human, or does it say like, or is it like, Brad the
a human?
Well, Brad the
blacksmith.
Yeah, exactly. Like the office worker who is a human. Like I don't know. Like it describes them in some way.
I think when you investigate the word, then like maybe a scroll can come down and sort of just tells you more information about this guy.
So it's almost Watch Dogs, but it's not using technology. It's just this world where, and then you can change those things
where words
are powerful like that. Yeah, that's really funny. So I kind of like the idea that with the Scrabble tiles, though, you literally just have to like throw them, and the game will figure out that if you throw an R and an A at a bed, then it turns into bread, or Brad. If you just throw the A, oh no, that would be no, that doesn't work.
It just turns into a clone of Brad.
Yeah. If you erase his B, then he's just really rad. Just makes
rad.
It just makes him rad.
I think that'll about do us.
Yeah, alright. So let's finish it on that note.
So we're Bitstormcast on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. We've got a Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Bitstorm. We'd like to plug Ben's website, Podchaser.
Podchaser, go rate us on there and check it out.
We're on iTunes, rate, review, subscribe there. Go to website, bitstormcast.com. We'd like to plug the awesome people at the AGPN.
Yes, who organised this thing as well. So
yes, it's amazing, using some amazing Audio-Technica mics.
Yeah,
for the first time.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who did help organise this, and +5
thanks
for
to
hosting
Joel
it,
and Austin.
Thanks to Joel and Austin for helping us out. And
they've thanked me because I helped get this thing actually up and running. Finally, we'd like to thank Kurudas for the song Mount to find itself at the album Containment Failure.
Yeah, so thanks for listening to Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
Welcome to PAX.